By simply sanitizing your workspace and washing your hands. Health officials say you can avoid that flu bug all season. According to the criminal complaint, one of the tricks they used to get away with the goods was placing the items in the cart, then covering them up with other items. When I type in the word Eckankar to google.com, one of the first suggestions is Eckankar Colt. And when I type in Harold Klemp, Eckankar's charismatic leader, Google also suggests the same thing. Police say a plastic bag links Jeffrey Brooks to the murder. It was found in a dumpster. KSX received an anonymous letter this morning. Inside, the criminal complaint for Michael Moen. A recent string of car break-ins in Fergus Falls has law enforcement looking for answers and looking for suspects. Early this morning, straight-line winds blew through the city of Wadena, destroying the newly constructed fairgrounds once again. Several construction projects are at a standstill in Wilmer after the 4 inches of rain last week. Samantha Miles went to Wilmer today to see what kind of trouble the water has caused.
Seeing the air conditioner unit start to fall, that's going to be imprinted in my mind. I mean, just you could see it start to buckle, and then that was it. Lights out, full of insulation, coughing that stuff up.
Startled, shaken, and thankful to be alive. Just a few phrases David Ginden uses to describe what he calls a close call.
Right over there underneath the counter. Actually, I was standing at the counter. Just heard some loud banging. Thought somebody was up in our attic working on it, just to see the roof just start coming right at us.
The ceiling comes crashing down at the Wagner hardware store in Glenwood because of the weight of snow piled up on the roof. And now all that's left is a big mess.
Thank God those counters are there, because it would have. Yeah, looking underneath there today is a wild, it's tight in there.
Nobody was injured during the collapse, but Wagner employees aren't the only ones who dodged a bullet. Right next door, the Napa store experienced a snowy situation earlier that day.
When we walked in the store yesterday morning, our roof here was sagging considerably. And we went up and explored it and found that we had about 8 rafters that were cracked.
But owner Jim Gradius didn't take any chances. He had the roof repaired immediately, and it may have saved his store.
We lucked out. We didn't tear our roof open.
Just hours after the Napa store got their roof fixed, the roof came crashing down at the Wagner hardware store just a few feet away.
It was like a bunch of firecrackers all of a sudden, snap, 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 and then a big crash.
And Glenwood Fire Chief Dave Orlowski says this may just be one of many roof collapses this season.
It's February now. We look ahead and the snow tends to get heavier as we get closer to spring. So a big thing would be just to be out and prevent it.
And regardless of how frightening the collapse was for employees, Ginden can't wait to get back to work.
Well, I'm wondering where the broom is. Let's get going. Let's start cleaning this place up and let's get her back open.
She's like a black widow. She truly is. She just draws you in.
Shocked, violated, and now seeking justice, Kelly Harris is out to make sure one woman serves hard time behind bars.
Star Liquor, thank you very much. Pizza Ranch. Gappas again, must needed fuel.
Penny Hopt faces felony charges of swindle and theft. According to the criminal complaint, she admitted to police she faked having multiple sclerosis. And she held a motorcycling for mobility ride back in 2009 to support the MS Society, then allegedly used over $1,500 on things like booze, gambling, and groceries.
When I was given the position, I was not given a checkbook, statements, nothing. And I immediately started getting a sick feeling in my stomach.
After the 2009 ride in Douglas County, Hopt asked Harris to serve on the committee as treasurer for a second ride that was held in August of 2010. Harris was honored, that is, until she took a look at the bank account.
There should have been a little over $1,100, $1,147 and change. And when I got the bank statement, there was $7.47.
At that point, Harris decided to play cop. She found countless checks written from the Motorcycling for Mobility account for personal expenses.
You raised money under false pretenses. You knew from the get-go that you weren't sick.
Harris turned over the evidence to Douglas County officials, and even though charges were brought against Hopt, the community is still trying to recover.
It was harder than facing the reality of this, was having to face these grown men who gave everything, and they got crapped on.
The richest
You've heard of Wall Street, Rodeo Drive, Broadway, but in Bemidji, one street is getting all the attention.
The city of Bemidji has Stoner Avenue,
Yes, you heard it right. And there are about 13 street signs on Stoner Avenue. Well, on a good day.
Ever since anybody can remember, we've had, of course, as you can imagine, the last decade probably, a hard time keeping the signs up. They seem to disappear.
Or better yet, go up in smoke.
I wish now, as I look back on it, I'd kept track as to how many have been taken.
I get up in the morning and check my street signs every day, or when I go to the store to see if they're still up, and they're gone.
Craig Gray with Bemidji Public Works says the signs get stolen almost as quickly as they can replace them. And at $100 a pop, amounting to $2,000 a year, he says that cost is getting high. About 15 signs get stolen each year. And where does Gray think these signs are hanging up?
We assume that many of these end up in university students' dorm rooms.
Maybe we should all go up to the college and go through the rooms.
Stoned, you know, the college gang, I'm sure, has been the ones that have been responsible.
And Bemidji State junior Laura Lee isn't exactly denying the allegations.
I wouldn't put it past college students, and yeah, it would make a pretty neat dorm decoration.
But this decoration won't be around for long. The Bemidji City Council has voted to change the name of the street, and maybe Stoner Avenue resident Jackie Jabrocki can finally get her munchies without hassle.
I had to walk all the way down First Street with my telephone, trying to find the pizza guy, and he was trying to find me. He couldn't find our street because we didn't have any street signs.
Everybody must get